out and I wanted to explain how I'm going to use these old straw bales. These were used in the sheep pen, and we made them a new pen, and these were kind of damp from where we'd gotten all that rain. So last night I started out by pouring some bone and blood meal, because that was all I had in my garden shed. So if you're wondering what the gray stuff on top is, it's a powdered bone and blood meal. But typically when you condition straw bales, you want to use just blood meal. So I went today to the garden center and bought some blood meal. And what you do is you add about a cup every other day for 10 days. After you add the cup, then you water it with your hose and you let it sit, and then that nitrogen and blood meal gets down into the straw and it makes this to be like a raised bed. So I have grown zucchini, eggplant, tomatoes, cucumbers, carrots, all kinds of stuff in my straw bales. I usually do a few straw bales a year, and last year I did all my zucchini and cucumbers in this, but this year I really wasn't going to start a straw bale garden because the area that I normally put the straw bales in is over on the other side of the garden, and I decided I was going to do the Three Sisters corn mounds. So when we pulled these out last night, I thought, well, I'm going to put them over here because eventually this area is going to extend to the clothesline. And the way I do my garden beds is I take cardboard. If you see the cardboard laying down around here, this cardboard's been sitting out in the rain on my back patio for a couple months actually. We save all our cardboard. Sometimes we use it in the fireplace when we're starting a fire in the winter, but most of the time I save it and I use it in my garden. And it's a really good weed barrier, and it decomposes into the ground and it makes a really good soil. So what I'm going to do is over here, you probably can't see it, but behind the trailer we have a little bit left of the wood chips that we had delivered a couple years ago, and I'm going to go get wheelbarrows full and I'm going to put them in or on top of this cardboard, and the wood chips will start the process, and then I'll add some dirt and then some more wood chips eventually. First I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to do handfuls. I don't really measure much, not even with cooking. So what you do is you just sprinkle the blood meal on top. Just make sure you've got a good covering on top there, and this stuff smells pretty bad. It's nitrogen, so it stinks. And then after I get done doing the wood chips on my cardboard, I am going to wet the wood chips and cardboard and straw bales down all at the same time. And this is just going right on top. When you do the straw bales, you want to be cut side up. You'll be able to see it looks like little straws on top. That's about it. So usually I can get by with just one bag when I'm doing 4 or 5 straw bales for my garden. So that's all I'm going to use of the blood meal. I'm going to set that down here. I'm going to grab my wheelbarrow and I'm going to go get the wood chips. I'm going to show you how I just cover them on top of this cardboard. And if you're working with wood chips or straw, a pitchfork is a lot easier than a shovel. I've learned that over the years. So I've got my pitchfork here. It's actually decomposed. It's been sitting there for a while, so you've got really black and nutritious wood chips that have already decomposed. This is going to be really good for my garden. We've already got our 9 blueberry bushes. We have our blackberries. We have strawberries around the corner and 2 cherry trees around the corner. And then we are planning on putting a small orchard right here with some dwarf apple trees. So that is a future plan. we got a whole truck of wood chips delivered several years ago, and I've slowly been using them up. We are actually looking to have more delivered. So most of the tree companies don't come out to dump them unless they have a job in your area. So we've not gotten lucky yet. And we did sign up for chipdrop.com, but we signed up for that 2 years ago and have never received a drop of chips from them. So and when you get chips dropped off, you'll get pieces of trees and strings and sometimes big blocks of wood that didn't get completely chopped up. You want to be very careful with your wood chip pile because your poisonous snakes like rotted wood, so they will make homes in your rotted wood chip pile. Well, I don't think we have that problem because my dogs like to dig in it and lay in it because underneath gets really wet and cool. Go back and get another load. out here, make sure they're covering all the cardboard. I will also use these wood chips will also be used to mulch around my blueberry bushes and any other fruit bushes because they're not dyed or have any of the stuff that your regular mulch would have. All right. I'm gonna grab my hose, get my hose ready. All right, so now I'm just going to soak down the whole area with the water hose. Maybe. You want it really, really wet. This cardboard was already pretty wet when I put it on, where it's been outside. I'm going to soak the top of my straw bale. Like I said, I'm going to do this every other day. I'm going to wet it down every single day, but I'm going to put the nitrogen blood meal on it every other day for 10 days. And then at the end of 10 days, I'm going to come back and I'm going to put a mixture of some kind of compost, garden soil, potting soil. I'm going to put a couple inches of that on top. But I usually like to rough the top of it up first so that the plant roots can really get into the straw bale. All right, I'm going to do the rest of this mulched area. So here's a close-up look, and then the straw bales